I'm Murray Newlands from Open Future Forum.
Should AI agents be centralized or decentralized? For how the agents work either. There are honest reasons for both, and the right choice depends on the task. For how you govern them, there is one answer: decentralize execution, centralize visibility, policy, and audit. Let the agents be distributed in how they do the work, and keep identity, permissions, credentials, and the audit trail running through one place. I'm Murray Newlands, partner at IA Seed Ventures and founder of Open Future Forum, which runs small off-the-record dinners for CFOs, CROs, CISOs, and CTOs in Silicon Valley, 100 events to date. This is one of the most active debates in agent design right now, and at dinners I see smart people land on opposite sides. So let me lay out the real trade-off and be clear that I am not arguing for one architecture, then give you the part that does not depend on which side you pick. Start with the patterns. A centralized design has one orchestrator that directs everything. A planner decides the steps and hands work to sub-agents or tools, and it holds the overall picture. The advantage is coherence. One place understands the whole task, so behavior is predictable and easier to reason about. The cost is that the orchestrator is a bottleneck and a single point of failure, and complex tasks can overwhelm it. A decentralized design has many agents that coordinate more directly, each with its own job, passing work between them. The advantage is flexibility and resilience. Specialized agents handle their piece, and the system can scale across many tasks at once. The cost is that no single place understands the whole, behavior is harder to predict, and coordination problems multiply. When something goes wrong, the question of which agent did what gets genuinely hard. There are also patterns in between. A supervisor with workers, where one agent assigns tasks and the workers report back. A pipeline, where each agent does its stage and passes the result along. Agents that negotiate or critique each other's output before anything is finalized. Each fits different problems, and I would not tell any executive there is one correct pattern. The right structure depends on the task, the team, and how much coordination the work actually needs. A simple, repeatable task rarely justifies a swarm. A sprawling, open-ended one rarely fits inside a single orchestrator. So how should a leader choose? A simple heuristic works. The more a task needs one coherent view of the whole problem, the more you lean centralized. The more it splits cleanly into independent pieces that rarely need to coordinate, the more you can decentralize. Preparing a single complex report wants one mind holding the structure. Processing 10,000 documents in parallel wants many hands. Most real systems are a mix. A central planner that breaks the work down and distributed workers that carry it out, which is why the supervisor and worker pattern has become so common. Pick the structure for the work in front of you, not for the diagram you find most elegant. Here is the move I want leaders to make because it cuts through the debate. The architecture question and the control question are separate, and people conflate them. How agents divide and coordinate work is an engineering decision. How you govern what those agents can do is a leadership decision, and the answer to the second does not change with the first. Whether you run one orchestrator or 50 cooperating agents, 4 things stay central. 1. Identity. Every agent, centralized or decentralized, has its own identity through one system. In a decentralized design, this matters more, not less, because there are more actors to tell apart. When agents are handing work to each other, you need to know exactly which one acted at each step. 2. Permissions. Every agent's grant is defined and enforced in one place at runtime. A decentralized swarm without central permissions is a swarm you cannot control. Each agent might be narrow on its own, but together they can reach further than you intended, and no one is checking the whole. That combinatorial reach is the trap of decentralized designs, and it is worth making concrete. Agent A can read customer records. Agent B can write to a shared document. Agent C can send that document outside the company. No single agent can leak customer data. The 3 of them in sequence can, and if they coordinate directly with no central check, nobody authorized the chain because nobody can see the chain. Central permissions catch this because the layer evaluates each step against what is actually allowed and can refuse the combination even when each piece looks fine. So a swarm needs more central control than a single agent, not less. The number of harmless-looking parts that add up to a harmful whole grows with every agent you add. 3. Credentials. Secrets live in one controlled layer regardless of how the agents are arranged. A decentralized design with scattered credentials multiplies the secret sprawl problem by the number of agents. Central credentials keep that from happening. 4. Visibility. One audit trail across every agent so that no matter how distributed the work is, you have one place that shows who did what. In a decentralized system, this single view is the only thing standing between you and an unsolvable mystery during an incident. The more distributed your agents, the more you need one undistributed record of their behavior. So the answer to centralized versus decentralized is that you choose the architecture that fits the work, and you never decentralize control. This is the model behind Agentic Fabrique, a company I advise, the identity and permissioning layer for AI agents, the Okta for agents idea. The agents can be arranged however the engineering calls for. They all route through one layer for identity, permissions, and credentials, with one audit trail across all of them. So you get the flexibility of distributed execution and the control of central governance at the same time. They tell me over 500 agents run through that layer today, and they support the major agent frameworks, so the architecture choice stays open. The executive takeaway is to let your engineers pick the architecture and to insist, as a non-negotiable, on central identity, permissions, credentials, and visibility. The shape of the system is theirs to design. The control over it is yours to keep. AI agents can be centralized or decentralized depending on the task, with honest trade-offs either way. Decentralize execution where it fits, and keep identity, permissions, credentials, and visibility running through one layer so a distributed system stays a governed one. Open Future Forum is a private executive community in Silicon Valley that runs small, off-the-record dinners for C-suite executives. Over 400 events since 2021, bringing together senior executives, founders, and investors. If you want to be considered for an Open Future Forum dinner, find me on LinkedIn. If you want to sponsor one, the same applies. I'm Murray Newlands from Open Future Forum. See you in the next briefing.